Well, welcome to the Distorted Transmission for this week. I'm talking to a Wellington band called This Silent Divide. How are you guys?
Great, thank you.
Could you introduce yourselves, starting with Sean and going through the entire members of the band, please?
Sure, I'm Sean. I play guitar and sing.
Kieran here, play the guitar. And our backline is Sano on the drums and Pete on the bass.
Cool, excellent. And how long have you guys been around?
Band's been together since about 2018. We've gone through a little bit of a lineup change through that, but we've been together in this lineup for the last couple of years.
So the reason why we're talking today is because you've got a single called Lucinda coming out on the 1st of October, is that correct?
Yeah, so Lucinda, so the song came about, I think last year. I was playing around with a few different chord structures on the acoustic, and it sort of just came together relatively quickly. I was the last member to join the band, and I guess it was just the first song that I think that I've kind of wrote the bulk of before bringing it to Sean. So yeah, it's kind of like a little entry point for me to feel comfortable within the band. The song's about a friend of mine who was going through a bit of a tough time. Yeah, so it was really exciting that it got picked up to be recorded.
Awesome. And where did you record it?
The Surgery Studios in Newtown in Wellington with Toby Lloyd from Tiny Triumph Recordings. So he took us in there. We spent a couple of days in there and a couple of days back at his studio doing the 4 songs, including Lucinda. And he brought a real additional kind of dynamic to the song. So introduced a few other things. We added some keys and a few other things that really made it sound rich and beautiful. So really happy with the result.
So he kind of produced it a little bit further than the original design of the song. Yeah,
for sure. Like we did quite a bit of work with him over, I guess, the previous 3 to 6 months before we did our recording. So he was really instrumental in the pre-production, and we kind of took him about 15 songs, see which ones do you think are the strongest, and he largely agreed with us, but Lucinda was his real pick, and gave us some really good detailed feedback, and we were able to then really refine the songs and sort of really improve them and make them even better than they were. So that was invaluable going into the studio.
I quite like how you used the word instrumental. It was almost a pun, but not quite. All right, cool. So like Lucinda's, it is a single, but it's part of an EP that's going to be released a little bit later on. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's part of our EP called Tall Stories, which comes out on the 1st of November. So we're going to do the Lucinda single on the 1st of October, and then Don't Give Up, we're going to release that track on the 1st of November with the rest of the EP. So the EP, as I mentioned, was recorded back in June with Toby.
How do you feel about the entire EP as a whole?
Yeah, it was a real amazing experience, just to do the whole thing. We've kind of had some kind of slightly rougher recordings before, early on. But I think what this whole process has taught us is to really revisit the songs in a way that we can get the structure right and it sounds good. And I think Toby really helped us just think differently about the songs. Right. And the whole recording process was easy because he made it easy for us. So yeah, really, really exciting, and it was a great experience.
During the process as well, we learned a lot about through really interrogating the songs and looking at all the parts of it, what was important for us about the songs, and it helped us, have some really good, robust conversations about which bits were the bits that were really working and which bits actually needed to be ditched or replaced or changed, to improve it. And I think that's really got us to a good place where we can have those good conversations without anyone sort of throwing the toys out of the cot.
Sometimes that's quite a hard conversation to have, depending on the musicians involved, of course. But yeah, having a producer can be very, very beneficial.
We've heard of other people that have had experiences where they turn up and someone's just kind of pushing the buttons and that's it, and they're like, yeah, that's good enough, done. Right. This was really, a case of him coming into the practice room, hearing us play the songs, kind of buying into what we were trying to achieve, and then kind of guiding us, and helping us, go in the direction we wanted to, but sort of fulfill, I guess, better versions of the songs than we would have if we were just doing it by ourselves with no sort of independent voice kind of helping us.
Off the back of this EP, I hear that you're going to be doing a tour. Could you tell me a little bit about that? Where you're going to be playing, the dates, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So starting mid-November, we're off on a tour. So we play at Napier at the Cabana on Friday the 12th of November, Palmerston North at Snails on the 13th of November, then Auckland Ding Dong Lounge Friday the 26th of November, into Hamilton, Navara Lounge 27th of November, and then back in Wellington, Newtown Sports Bar on Friday the 3rd of December. So yeah, really looking forward to playing those shows. Obviously we've we'll be practicing up our set now that we're back in level 2 and can actually get back into the practice room, and really looking forward to playing the songs for people.
Did COVID kind of mess with your recording plans or your gigging plans over the past, year, I suppose?
So I think it made us a bit more adaptable because we've had to chop and change just like everyone else in the country. And the bulk of the bands that have been trying to get out there and play, we've had to change a few gigs. We've done a couple of seated gigs, and it's just part of it. I guess what COVID's given us this time round was an opportunity to really get all the fine-tuned planning and all the real boring stuff completed.
The recording of the actual EP itself was in sort of June, and then we were into mixing in July, so it was sort of in a period of time where COVID wasn't present, so we were able to do that without restrictions. And then, as Kieran says, it was really into some of the organising tour planning, which has been okay to do during lockdown.
We got one day in at the big studio, and then we changed alert levels and went to level 2 on the second day, but we still managed to get the EP done on that second day.
So you were just in there for a couple of days?
We were in there for 4 days. 4
days all up?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good turnover. That's like a song a day, right?
Yeah, and it was actually probably, we got the basic stuff down, the drums, bass, rhythm guitars down in 2 days for the 4 songs.
Right.
And then the final 2 days were kind of overdubs, lead guitar, vocals, and a little bit of extra bits here and there that we wanted to put in to sort of embellish. So Toby played a few keys for us. We got the backing vocals going, which was great fun and a big laugh for us as we were sort of all trying to hit the right notes on those ones.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to the interview? We're kind of almost at a time, I think, so...
Yeah, so just really like to shout out to a few people who have helped us along the way. So Toby Lloyd from Tiny Triumph Recordings, Jitch Taylor with all of his videography and photos, Bradley Garner Creative, who did our music video for Lucinda, that's amazing, and also Ben at Valhalla, who's been a huge supporter of the band through the years we've been playing, and also in lots of other bands that we've played in. So just want to say thanks to those guys.
Anything from you, Kieran?
I think just reiterating everything that he said. We've just, obviously, the music videos coming out on the 1st of October, and we had a whole bunch of friends come out and help us make it what it is. So it's a shout out to them as well.
I was going to ask you about that. At the end of the video, there's a little gig going on at Valhalla. The protagonist of the video ends up at Valhalla to watch you play, which I thought was quite a cool story. But of course, it wasn't a real gig, was it? It was like a sort of you must have brought your audience with you. How did that kind of come to pass?
Yeah, I guess we were lucky that had a good relationship with Ben, that he allowed us to come in on an off day. So we got our rock gears on and partied hard on a Monday evening for about 45 minutes. So obviously we had to bring the crowd with us, and we were just lucky that we had a whole bunch of people that put their hand up and came down on a pretty crappy night, but it worked out well for us on a Monday night to get everyone down there, and gave us a chance to have a bit of fun with it too, which was good.
Awesome. All right, lads. Well, thanks very much for chatting with me tonight. All the best with the release, and I'll listen out for your EP when it comes out. Cheers.
Cheers, Will.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Catch you guys later. See you later.